Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I didn't walk into my marriage expecting passion every single night. I'm not naive. I knew real life doesn't work like movies. What I didn't expect was to feel unwanted in my own bed for months, and then suddenly be told she wanted a baby, like nothing had ever been wrong. My name is Marcus. I'm 39. I work in logistics, steady job, long hours, nothing glamorous. My wife, Evelyn, is 36. We've been married for 9 years. For most of that time, I thought we were solid. Not perfect, but stable. We laughed. We planned. We built routines that felt safe. I believed that counted for something. Then the distance started. Slowly, quietly, the kind of change you don't notice until it's already deep under your skin. At first, it was excuses. She was tired. Headaches. Stress from work. Hormones. I didn't push. I didn't guilt her. I figured intimacy comes and goes in long marriages. So I gave her space. I focused on being supportive. Cooking dinner. Handling errands. Letting her decompress. I told myself love meant patience. Weeks turned into months. No affection. No desire. Not even the small things. No reaching for my hand. No leaning into me on the couch. When I tried to kiss her, she'd turn her cheek automatically, like muscle memory. Like my touch had become inconvenient. I didn't feel angry. I felt confused. Invisible. One night, after yet another quiet dinner, I finally said it out loud. I told her I missed her. Missed us. I said I wasn't asking for miracles, just closeness. She looked at me with tired eyes and said, I just don't feel like myself lately. It's not about you. That line became her shield. Every time I tried again, it was the same answer. Not about you. Give me time. I'm just not there right now. So I stopped asking. And that might have been the most damaging part. Because when a man stops asking, it's usually because he's stopped believing he matters. If you've ever been in a relationship where silence replaced affection, tap like right now. It helps this story reach people who might need to hear it. By month 4, the bedroom wasn't just quiet, it was dead. I slept next to my wife every night and felt completely alone. I'd lie awake wondering if this was just marriage aging, or something else entirely. Then came the shift. Out of nowhere, Evelyn started acting different. Not warmer exactly, but intentional. She started asking about our future, about finances, about where we'd be in 5 years. One morning, while we were having coffee, she said casually, "Have you ever thought about having another child?" The question hit me wrong. Not because I didn't want kids. We'd talked about it years ago. But because intimacy had been non-existent for months. You don't go from avoidance to baby talk without something changing. I asked her what brought it up. She smiled. Not warmly, nervously. I just feel like we're at that stage. That night, she initiated intimacy for the first time in months. Felt rushed, mechanical, like a task that needed to be checked off a list. I didn't feel desired. I felt used. That's when the pieces started lining up in my head. I noticed things I'd ignored before. Her phone never leaving her hand. The way she'd step into another room to text. The sudden concern about timing, cycles, dates, details she'd never cared about before. I didn't accuse her. I didn't confront her. I just paid attention. At this point in the story, tell me in the comments, what would you be thinking if you were in my place? The truth didn't come from a confession. Came from a mistake. One evening, she left her tablet on the kitchen counter while she showered. A message popped up. Just a name and a heart emoji. But it wasn't mine. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. Everything I'd felt in my gut finally had a shape. That night, she came to bed and rested her hand on my chest. Soft, careful. "I really think we should try for a baby," she whispered. I stared at the ceiling, my mind racing. I wasn't scared of fatherhood. I was scared of being a solution to a problem I didn't create. Because by then, I already knew the truth. If this moment hit something personal for you, comment the word clarity below. Some realizations arrive quietly, but they change everything. I didn't confront her right away. Not because I was afraid, but because I needed to understand what I was actually standing on. Accusations without certainty don't bring peace. They just create noise. So I waited. I watched. I listened. Over the next week, the pattern became clearer. She was suddenly attentive, but only when it aligned with her goal. There was no curiosity about me, no emotional repair, no attempt to address the distance that had nearly broken me. Just planning. Just urgency. Just that quiet pressure disguised as optimism. One evening, she brought it up again, sat beside me, rested her head on my shoulder and said, "I really think this could fix us." That sentence told me everything. A child wasn't love. It was leverage. It was an anchor. And I realized something that made my chest tighten in a way I'd never felt before. She didn't want me back. She wanted stability back. So I asked her a simple question. "Evelyn," I said calmly, "why now?" She hesitated, just a second too long. Then she gave me a rehearsed answer about timing and age and wanting to feel complete. But her eyes avoided mine the entire time. And when someone won't meet your eyes while asking you to build a future, it means they're hiding something about the present. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat alone in the living room and let the truth settle. Not in anger, not in heartbreak, in clarity, the kind that doesn't scream, the kind that goes quiet and heavy. I knew I couldn't move forward without honesty. Not for me, and certainly not for a child. The next morning, I told her we needed to talk. Really talk. She sat across from me at the kitchen table, coffee untouched. I didn't accuse. I didn't raise my voice. I just said, "I know there's someone else. And before you deny it, understand this. I'm not asking to fight. I'm asking because I need to decide what my life looks like next." Her face didn't harden. Collapsed. Tears came fast. Confessions followed. "Emotional affair," she said. "Not physical." She said she felt lost, disconnected, unsure. She said she didn't plan for it to happen. She said the baby idea was about saving what we still had. I listened, quietly, fully. And when she finished, I said the hardest thing I've ever said in my life. A child shouldn't be born into a marriage that already needs saving. She cried harder. She apologized. She promised change. She promised counseling. She promised effort. All the things I'd been waiting months to hear, now that it was too late. Because here's the truth no one likes to say out loud. Timing matters. Love offered only when consequences arrive isn't love. It's fear. If you believe the story could help someone recognize a hard truth before it's too late, share it. You never know who might need this perspective right now. I didn't leave that day. Not dramatically. Not with bags packed. I told her I needed space to think. Real space. Not emotional limbo. And for the first time in months, she didn't argue. She just nodded. Over the next few weeks, I asked myself questions I'd avoided for years. Was I staying because I was loved? Or because I was useful? Was I choosing comfort over respect? And most importantly, could I trust a future built on desperation instead of desire? The answer came slowly, but clearly. I chose not to try for a baby. And I chose not to continue a marriage where intimacy had to be negotiated instead of felt. When I told her, she was calm. Too calm. Like part of her had already prepared for this outcome. And maybe that was the final confirmation I needed. We separated shortly after. No screaming. No chaos. Just paperwork and quiet rooms and the strange relief that comes when you stop pretending. Today I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm grateful I listened to myself before my life became permanently tied to a lie. Now I want to ask you something important. Do you believe staying for potential is worth sacrificing your self-respect? Let's talk about it in the comments. What I learned is simple but not easy. Love doesn't disappear overnight. It erodes when honesty leaves the room. And no amount of hope can replace mutual desire. If you're ever in a relationship where someone withholds affection, then suddenly offers a future only when they're afraid of losing you, pause. Listen. That moment is trying to tell you something. If this story resonated with you, like the video, leave your thoughts or experience in the comments, and subscribe. Because these stories aren't just entertainment. They're reminders that self-respect is the foundation of every real relationship.